Welcome to your Capricorn horoscopes for the week of the 14th through the 20th of April. And we have no planets really in Capricorn this week. We do continue to have Ceres in Capricorn, really bringing that focus of your day-to-day schedule into play here, which scheduling, I mean, being on a schedule is what Capricorns are all about, really. My grandmother, who's been retired for years, still has her little daily schedule of getting up and doing the dishes and the things that she would, do because she enjoys getting up and moving and doing things. And most Capricorns are very much like that. But Ceres is very interesting this week, especially because we're in the last week of our Mercury retrograde, which is in Aries, another cardinal sign. And while you have no planets that are really impacting this or interacting with that retrograde, the retrograde just makes things a little bit more complicated. So if you already have a lot going on in that schedule, the Mercury retrograde is just going to throw delays in there, make people late. People don't call when they say they're going to, or they say they'll be there when you call at noon and they're really not there. They're really not available at the time. It just there's always something that comes up around a Mercury retrograde. And this is why Ceres influence is actually so important this week, because Ceres is all about nurturing. And I don't know a Capricorn that is being nurtured by another person. Usually, you guys are the ones that are doing that for everybody else. You guys are the nurturers. And so this is really about remembering your self-care, remembering to nurture yourself, remembering to take time away from all the silliness and all the craziness that's going on around you, just to be able to detach from it, to unplug from it, to take some time not doing anything. And I think that that's actually really difficult for Capricorns. I know it took my grandma until she was much older in her life. Before she hit a certain age, she was constantly up and moving and doing something. If she wasn't working, she was cleaning something, she was doing laundry, she was folding laundry, she was going through, I mean, she's always doing something up until she got to an age where she needed to spend a little bit more time resting. I want to say that you don't necessarily want to wait until you get to that time, it's good now. It keeps your energy going for longer as you get older. Um, and to be honest with you, if you're going to be the one that organizes literally everything that's going on in life around you, you need to take time to unplug from that every now and then as well. So this is why I feel that Ceres is very important, because this week in particular, it's the last week of the Mercury retrograde. Next week, we have a shadow period. So we've got this week and next week, really, before we're in the clear. And because it's not going to run like the well-oiled machine that you would like it to, that's why it's important to have that unplugged time, because you're not just unplugging from all the things that you're doing, you're also unplugging from all the frustrations that are bound to come up because of the situation, the Mercury retrograde situation that we're in. And when you do that, it gives you a better opportunity to be able to come into the situation with a stronger focus. You have your brain's not in like 50 different directions. You're definitely more likely to be successful than if you hadn't taken the time to just sort of unplug and detach from it, if that makes sense. The other thing is, which I find kind of interesting, is that Capricorn is still technically focused on relationships, barely, but technically. And so it's not just, I mean, I don't feel that it's just business that you guys are taking care of. There are relationship complications kind of coming into this as well. And when these types of relationship complications happen, when they come up, they confuse everything, because this darkness just infiltrates into everything. So nurturing yourself is really important. Sometimes it's the little things like having that piece of cake when you don't normally eat sugar, or going out. I know Capricorns don't like to spend money uselessly, but sometimes it's nice to go out and get that sandwich that you really like, to treat yourself when you've had a really bad day. So it's, self-care is about rest and unplugging, yes, and turning your brain off, but it's also about taking care of you and sometimes spoiling you every now and then. So make sure also that in all this chaos, you're eating the way that you should be eating. You're not skipping any meals. You're not over snacking, anything like that. All of those things are going to make it more difficult for you to focus on all of the things that need to get focused on in order for you to get through the rest of this Mercury retrograde. So that's what I have for you guys this week. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you next week. And in the meantime, I know you guys are going to make the best of the week. You always do. Um, just keep on keeping on, keep on doing that. Make it a great week. You always do. And I will see you next week. Take care, you guys.